In this video, I'll be showing you how to have a custom ultimate with Overwatch Workshop. First, set ultimate ability enabled to false, so it can't be used. Have that for ongoing each player, and then either the character or the slot you want it for. And then an easy way to do it would be to put it on a simple cooldown, which you can see how to do a cooldown in my cooldown ability video. However, that's not quite how it works in Overwatch. So, the way that I've done it for this character is player dealt damage with primary fire, set player variable of Q, which for this I've set to be the charge for the ultimate ability, to add the player variable of Q with 7, which is comparable to Reinhardt hitting someone with his hammer in percent. And then for the secondary ability, player dealt damage with secondary fire, set Q to add the current number of Q with 10, which allows for slightly more charge than the primary fire, which, since it's on a cooldown, is pretty good. Also, it can hit more enemies at once for the character I'm doing this with. And then, since my ability 1 is a defensive ability, it wouldn't affect how quickly the ult would charge. However, ability 2 heals your team and damages the opposing team. So, if player dealt damage with ability 2, set variable Q to add Q with 20. Which means if you were to damage someone with the second ability on this character 5 different times, you would instantly have your ultimate, as I've been doing this in percents, and 100% would allow you to use the ultimate. Now, to make sure that the ultimate is ready, you have it set ongoing each player, character or slot, and then have it check is player variable Q, which is the charge percent, as said before, greater than or equal to 100%, which means if you have 100, 200, what have you, you can use the ability at that point. That way, even if you have overcharged your ability and just been holding on to it, it'll still be readily available. And create HUD text visible to event player, use ultimate ability, and I have that put on the left so that it'll be very clear when it's available. And that'll be sorted to 1 so that it'll be at the top on the left, even if I had anything else on the left. And then set player variable, I chose W because it's right next to Q, which is being used for activating the ultimate as well as storing the percent of the ultimate, to the last text ID, which is the HUD text showing that the ultimate is available. And then after that, you have your ultimate which for one-time damaging ultimate, this would be the way to do it. However, if it's truly dependent on where everyone is, then you'd have to do it a different and much more involved way, and I can get into that at a later point if you want me to. But if it is something like a Diva Bomb, where as long as you're in range and not hidden behind anything, it'll affect you, or in this case where it's a smoke cloud and, you know, logic speaking, it would be in your lungs and poison you, so as long as you were in it at one point, you would continue to take damage. You have is button held ultimate true, and is player variable Q, which is the charge percent, greater than or equal to 100, which is just like the rule for displaying whether it's available so that you can always use it. Then destroy HUD text at W, which will get rid of the text saying it's available. Set variable Q to 0 so that you have 0% available. You have the effects you want to do, damage you want to do, or the healing you would want to do if that's what you wanted. And then if it affects your speed, kind of like how Reaper gets slowed down when he uses his ultimate. And then just like how you have the duration of the damage over time, you have a wait duration, clear the effects, reset your movement speed, and then just to ensure that you didn't build any ultimate charge while you're using it, like is normal for Overwatch, whenever you end an ult, you'll have 0 charge. Putting it back at the bottom, as well as the top, ensures that while you probably couldn't before, you'll be sure that it can only be used once while you have the charge, and then with it at the bottom, you'll ensure that there's no charge gained during it, even passively. And you could do it differently, like how Overwatch does it by like points. It's something like, you know, a few thousand per each character's ultimate. But in my opinion, doing it by percent is a lot easier because it's a lot more visible in the game itself than this hidden ultimate charge point variable.
Traveling to Volskaya
And I'll show building up the ultimate as well as using it.
Death walks among you.
Alright, now you can see that the abilities have their text saying they're available, but the ultimate, which would be on the left, does not. So I'm just gonna
Another one off the list.
take out Sana a few times to build up the ultimate. I should really be doing it with ability 2 because it charges much faster.
It's going to hurt.
Now if we were to show the inspector, we could see that Q, which stores the charge, is currently at 62. Which means you have 62%. You could have a HUD text show that, but since it would be updating regularly, it start, coming in and out and just shaking stuff, and it looks cleaner if you just don't show that stuff, in my opinion. Now you can see the ultimate ability showed up. The charge is at 103%, so I can use the ability next time that Anna comes back. There's clouds around me, which took a large amount of damage. Now the ultimate is done, and everything's just like before. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching.